Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for your patience while we made sure our producers could switch out. Golden has some very early meetings tomorrow morning and has to be able to sleep for them. So we are back with Shivam now as our producer. I'm still Brady, that's still Ozzy, and we are here for what could finally be our final game of the night. As Death Cards have set themselves to match point and final boss, now got to win 2 in a row if they want to take home the chip.
Yeah, I think, well, we look at what's been happening in the series. It's been kind of dominant every single game that's been won, so it seems like a lot of, like, I don't know if it's a draft issue. It could just be kind of coming down to a draft issue. Wow, stuttering. That last game there, we kind of saw, right, where Final Boss just drafted losing lanes. So they literally could not do anything, kind of just lost. They had kind of no way of winning because they had no winning lanes. So, and of course that also requires Death Cards to not get picked out and to be applying the pressure, right? Which did happen. And then we look at, like, game 1, Final Boss has that insanely odd draft where it was basically completely unplayable, and they lost off of that. Then game 2, they give us a good draft, and they win resoundingly. It wasn't even remotely close. Klexo on that Caston, the biggest member, of course. Maybe, we should be looking at these mid laners, because it feels like this game is decided off of how the mid laners are doing. And I will say, for the first time, Akira won lane and did win game, meaning the theory that whoever is winning top lane loses the game, well, that's not true anymore, but we're going to get back around. Like, Garen ban coming through, meaning this is telling me potentially Cassante is actually going to be Gwen first locked in here for Death Cards, but
it is something that has been banned away a few times in this series. It's been a lot of solo lane bans in general over the course of our split here, and of course over the course of this series as well. As we jump into this draft, Corki and AD Carry getting locked in here for Final Boss. Hoping for a little bit more lane dominance, I think, especially now with Caitlyn, Varus, Jhin, Ashe out. You can pick something more aggressive like Corki, and there's not a lot left that can really punish it. You're not going to pick something like a Kog'Maw into the Corki that's going to try and outscale it. So what really do you have left in the tank? Is it going to be something like a Kai'Sa Nautilus, maybe? As Nautilus does get locked in.
Yeah, Kai'Sa Nautilus is not bad. I'm still a proponent, like Yunara Lulu is not bad here, right? But I think it will potentially be Kai'Sa Naut. They did at least... It's actually going to be the MF Nautilus as the answer instead, which does make sense. Also, looking at that map, when you are covering up half of it, it does look like Fortnite, but the other half is not.
Don't say that. That hurts my heart. It's like my favorite book series. Come on.
The other half is obviously not Fortnite. But regardless, speaking of Fortnite, has yet to lock a champion in here, so we'll see what he decides to go after. A phenomenal Xerath game. Will be the Jace here coming in for Final Boss. And Jace been pretty popular recently, but there's a lot of things that counter him. Things like Yorick being played into him. Professionally, LPL really approves of the Yorick counter picks. I think LPL definitely has the best Yoriks in the world. So,
oh yeah.
We'll see what Death Cards opt to do here. As the Gwen, of course, flexible in the jungle and top lane.
You never know.
And you still have flexibility off of this Jace. Could go mid, could go top. Technically could go jungle, although that did get super nerfed, so doubt that's happening. But hey, there's Urgot.
Are we going to be seeing... Surely it's not Urgot jungle, so I feel like this...
I saw Urgot jungle. I saw Urgot jungle in AML. Okay, I saw it this week. I saw it this week. I did see Rek'Sai jungle in AML as well.
It's again flexible. Could be Rek'Sai top, could be Rek'Sai jungle. Her top lane has been touched a little bit, but she is still fairly decent up there, especially versus sustained matchups. And with Victor locked in, one of those two between Gwen and Rek'Sai will be going top, and the other one is guaranteed going jungle. So now it's just a matter of Final Boss. What is your last lock in here? It's the Talia, which says, I think to me at the very least, it says that is going to be either Urgot or Jace jungle. Okay.
I mean, I don't think it's Jace top. I think it has to be Jace jungle here, right?
I mean, versus the what is almost assuredly the Gwen, I suppose the Rek'Sai could still go top lane, but even then, neither of these are good matchups for the Jace.
Surely, right? Like, in my mind,
Jace mid Talia jungle Urgot top. There's the sauce.
You would much rather, like, in my opinion, you would much rather have Jace jungle this game, because say they put Gwen top, which is a possibility, right? Urgot actually destroys Gwen early, right? There's literally nothing Gwen can do about it. And then you can get your snowballing lead on your Urgot then, right? So I think you have to put this Jace jungle, because you can't play the risk of, yeah, this Gwen is going, you know, yeah, there it is. So
he's actually Jace mid Talia jungle.
Crazy. Jesus, what a snipe!
I called it out jokingly. All right,
what a snipe!
It's
they did buff Talia jungle
match in mid lane. Okay,
they did buff Talia jungle a while ago. So
they did. This is true.
But it's Jace versus Victor, which is still interesting. It's also Gwen top lane here into the Urgot, so we'll see how that performs as we get up onto the rift here for game number 4. Backs against the wall for final boss. Again, final boss bringing a bit of the spicier drafts to life. We'll see if this is what they need here. Again, not a great fight starter, though, on their team. Yeah. Bit better than what they had in game number 1, I won't lie, though, so pretty much easier. Vertigo on the Rek'Sai. We'll see what happens. It's actually sure into the mid lane.
Yeah, Muffin's showing his face, just making sure that Klexo and Steve Jackson know that they can't just free push this. Striker Jones is on a ward, and I don't think is aware that he's spotted. So Akira should have at least the advantage on move here. Knows that Jones is inside that brush still. He's just going to play the patience game. Knows that the Urgot wins the level 1 trade and is just trying to outmaneuver.
Wow, look at this. This is actually just insane play by Akira. I don't know how Akira got here, by the way, but this is insane. Oh
he's just staying out of vision. I mean, Striker Jones has to know he's in here at this point.
Striker knows, yeah, for sure. But that was, this is really well played. Actually, unique way of using. Nice dash as well. Good dash start here to avoid the dash from Striker Jones.
Wow.
Yes, the Gwen is down in gold, right? Like, that's the downside.
Maintained XP.
Gets the XP. Yeah, gets the XP. Also saves the HP, right? Which is just as important here. Because when the wave does crash, right, you are going to want to try and get that CS. Now trade in the mid lane.
Fortnite. Klexo playing the much more aggressive pick here. Fortnite. Level 2 Victor does not do very much. The shield, though, might just be enough. It's the trade, but it's first blood to Klexo.
Yeah, I mean, good stuff coming out. But consider this, right? Victor actually benefits off of those kills more, right? Because it gets him closer to those upgrades much faster.
He also didn't lose Flash.
He also didn't lose Flash. So great play is already, you know, Klexo and it's the XP lead, right? Because the minion wave hasn't died. Will be now level 3 for Klexo, but trading 1 for 1 like that, yes, the gold lead is towards this Jace, but you know, for Victor, it's not bad at all, because Victor wants to scale, get those upgrades, like the Hextech upgrades on his, you know, on his abilities. And now, with that kill, he's going to be 1 step closer getting an upgrade. And Vertigo, playing this Rek'Sai, can gank mid very easily here into the Jace, who is flashless for a bit now.
Yeah, and again, Fortnite holding on to his Flash is such a big deal, because now Steve Jackson doesn't have as easy of an angle in. Especially already given that Klexo on this Jace, not going to be providing a ton of CC and utility. This is not like a Talia Pantheon that you would see Pantheon super easy setup for Talia to land the shove. Jace has the knockback, but that's really it in terms of what sort of crowd control you can give your mid laner to actually set up for a kill.
Yeah, we'll be taking her reset now. Vertigo... Yet, recalling, waiting to see if Klexo might greed out this mid lane. He will show back up on this wave. Look at this.
Yeah, now he's gonna stay.
But he's playing on the right side here. I don't think there's a gank potential here. Oh, they're looking. Klexo.
So no flash into the gravity well. Vertigo should just have this. Will knock the Rek'Sai back with a flash in. to just guarantee it. Gives it over to Fortnite. Nicely played by Vertigo. But now the play on the bottom side. Muffin, the one in trouble, slowed up by those bubbles from the Nami. Nice little buffer there. Gets away from the seismic shove as well. But the electrocute from Steve Jackson off of the auto will pick up the kill. A 1-for-1 across the
map. I'm gonna crash out. Why are we allergic to just pressing flash? Like, please just flash. Please.
This is your last straw. This is it.
Please.
This is finally what breaks you. After the entirety of the
Why are we going
split.
for the hook buffer? And it wasn't even like a max range hook buffer either. It was like a pretty small, just flash. Please. How many deaths have to happen in the series before someone presses their flash on time? Actually, Duck did flash early and lived.
Yeah.
Please, just use it.
There's like a certain amount of like how early you flash versus how late you flash. It shows off your skill level. Like you'll see lower rank players like Gold, even Emerald are like, oh, I'm gonna flash super early because I really don't want to get in a spot where I'm gonna be in trouble because I don't want to have to outplay it. And then you'll see these like challenger players, I'm gonna flash super early because I know my opponent and I'm gonna respect how much they can actually get done. But then on pauses Vertigo, we'll get away from the seismic shove, so no CC coming through there. Yeah, challenger players will flash early because they respect their opponents. Golden, like, Emerald players will flash early because they don't really know the timings perfectly, but then you have this little pocket in here in the middle where you're like, I'm gonna flash as close as possible. I want to greed this flash out as much as I can. And speaking of greeting the flash, Muffin's gonna look for it now! Trades it with Steve Jackson, but Hex Flash on the Nautilus does make that a worthwhile trade.
Okay, well, at least greeting flash gets something. Fortnite does have flash of his own, and it just has the distance as well, so A-okay. Also, realistically, right, if Clixo actually goes to step up for that kill, they don't kill him there, even if the seismic shove hits, right? He's actually losing, like, an entire wave there for that kill, so would have been a pretty costly kill attempt, to say the least, and it wouldn't have been picked up easily either. But regardless, does walk away.
My big worry in this game in terms of draft is really this misfortune. It's not a champion that we're seeing very much anymore. It just has been a little bit out of the meta in terms of other AD carries that have just been kind of doing her job, but better. So we're really going to have to see Duck perform on this, I think, for me to be convinced that this was the right call in the draft.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the biggest thing, right, is they don't necessarily have the best ways of canceling it. Tidal Wave is their best option. Maybe, you know, a Weaver's Wall, maybe. But outside of that, right, like, it's not great. And realistically here, when Final Boss are kind of lacking engage tools as now, Klexo might be forced to flash.
Does have the flash, yeah, will pop that one. Striker Jones, though, in with the Weaver's Wall. Vertigo's going to get the knockup, and now Striker Jones is the one in trouble. Absolutely deleted. Not Striker Jones, Steve Jackson. I see SJ, and I'm just throwing out a whack. Steve Jackson is the one taken down. A nice little counter gank there, countered out by Vertigo.
I'm so shocked he rode the wall the entire way. Like, I thought he would just get off the wall, but walks directly into Rek'Sai there, like, and just dies. Final Boss. Now, maybe in a bit of danger. Fortnite
wants to make this
is okay to walk away.
As soon as you see Jace pops W, you know that he wants to get in melee.
Yeah, I don't understand, like, again, I don't know what Steve Jackson thought he was going to do there, because, again, now gank in the mid lane, no flash.
No flash. Fortnite hanging on to that health bar, does have a flash of his own. Vertigo will get stunned up, but how much follow-up damage do they actually have? Fortnite not providing a ton at this point, just a little bit of extra utility, and everyone will walk away instead with trade on the roam as well.
Yeah, will be the counter invade, actually. Oh, shock blast. Next. Oh my god, Vertigo. Vertigo is like, oh, I do not want to be here.
That was dangerous.
Does not want to be there, and, you know, walks away. But
invade coming through. Akira, I think, is just going to get in the 1v1. Striker Jones picking up the solo, finally getting his revenge over the course of this series. And now, Fortnite flashes away, but it's too little, too late again. Steve Jackson survives the turn shot with a sliver of HP. Now, Aussie, don't crash out.
I'm not. I won't crash out about it. It's okay.
You're calm. You're chill. You're serene. You're screaming about
I got it out already. We're good. But specifically in this top side, right? Like I said, it's very hard for Gwen to win early, but to make it. Oh, okay. Does force out the recall cancel from Clixo there in the mid lane, but I was going to say in the top side, solo kill me once, shame on me. Solo kill me twice, shame on me. Solo kill me 3 times, shame on me. And finally, Akira falls down in the 1v1 in top side this series. Striker Jones picks it up early on the Urgot, but expected here. It was actually kind of close 1v1 as well. Like that.
Yeah.
Gwyn with no exhaust for that. Definitely very close. So.
Yeah, I think if Akira had the exhaust plus the needlework, there may have been a chance to turn that one around. It would have been a lot closer at the very least, but good advantage of the timing there. Striker Jones taking advantage of the fact that there was no exhaust available, and now the top lane stake starts to even out a little bit, and even get in favor as we can go evening out. Duck flashes forward, but it's right into the tidal wave. Bullet Time doing plenty of work. The barrier's gonna eat that rocket. Keyboarder, just not enough damage to finish off any of these kills. Trade now trying to interrupt some recalls as Klexo is on the rotate. High behind your minion wave, Duck. How much can you get done before Klexo is able to pick this one up? Oh. There's the shot. Klexo finds one. Klexo will find 2. A valiant attempt from Duck to try and get one back on Keyboarder, but the Valkyrie away is not allowed to trade.
I mean, this is kind of starting to be an issue here for Death Cards, right? They have no control over the bottom side of the map. 0. Right? Like, Vertigo's stuck, stranded in this top side. There's nothing for him to even invade. I'm surprised they're actually not going for Dragon here, which I feel like should be surefire, but now Fortnite, no flash.
Fortnite without flash. Steve Jackson in a little bit of trouble. The Arcane Storm is not going to do enough damage, and Klexo suddenly on a killing spree from down to up. Jace Arcane is scaling in this game.
Yeah, Fortnite, again, knows that they're bot side as well, but gets Weaver's walled off from the tower. Yeah, does get Weaver's walled off, but I will say, Duck behind on the MF. Muffin taking a 1v1 against a level 8. That's a level 8 Corki, brother. He's 2 levels down actually in this game. I don't know what Muffin has done with his experience, but
yeah, I feel like we've seen Trade roaming on the map more than we've seen Muffin. As that's gonna be Vertigo taking that dragon. Steve Jackson does not get in time.
And getting away safely.
That's the Rek'Sai experience. As a dive in top side, Klexo rotates up beautifully. Fear Beyond Death will guarantee another kill to Striker Jones. And this Urgot is starting to snowball out of control.
Oh, nice bubble.
Rush in, but a great bubble. The wave timing there. Vertigo not able to finish off the kill. The bullet time out of range. Steve Jackson will walk away from the play. I saw someone in Twitch chat ask who's surviving the Rek'Sai knockup. Apparently, Final Boss says it just doesn't do enough damage. And now Klexo looking for the 1v1 here on Fortnite. Knows that the Victor doesn't have a ton of damage with Steve Jackson in the backup as well. Not even needed. Klexo now on a rampage on the Jace.
I am so confused with what Death Cards is doing. Like, Klexo is just around the world, the map, as the jungler this game, as the mid laner. For some reason, Vertigo is in a 1v3 without his bot lane helping him at all. I am so confused at what is happening for Death Cards. The whole, like Fortnite gets an early lead on the Victor, like, they should be so completely chill, right? Akira, again, in a hard lane, top lane, but, continues to get punished here. Now down a level and a half minimum. So they might be looking to turn it back.
Vertigo's here, forcing the flash out of Striker Jones at the very least, but now the Urgot looking for the comeback. Stacks up that Black Weaver very quickly. Smite forced out just defensively to try and keep him off. Klexo. He's waiting over the wing. Shock Blast doesn't land. Nice sidesteps by Vertigo, and he's got the tunnel to get out. Whew! Secret Agent as that's Trade in the mid lane. Caught on the roam for once. Fortnite will pick that one up, and we'll start to get Victor back in this game.
Yeah, Trade just by himself there when the rest of his team is topside. And showed topside, so pretty easy pick to make.
There's been a lot of decision making in this game. I'm not gonna say whether it was good or bad.
Decision making has occurred in this game, yes.
But these are some decisions of all time.
But specifically, right, like for Death Cards, like They was going so well, but then all of a sudden it's just like a complete collapse here. Like I'm so just miffed. So miffed, you know? But
miffed is a good word. I like that one.
Like now, granted, for final boss, Klexo has the lead. It's been kind of battle of the mid laners in this series so far. But of course, Fortnite needs the time to scale on the Victor because of the like lethality Jace. You know, you kind of scale a little bit earlier, so you can do a lot more in the way towards like mid game and like early game fighting. Played off big time for Klexo as they have a 5,000 gold lead here for the side of final boss. Is now looking like a potential gang angle from Steve Jackson with that Weaver's Wall just out of vision.
Maybe a potential dive here as well. Just waiting for it.
MF needs to ult the wave.
I know that Duck, has the ultimate for the wave.
Wow, they're just so patient.
They're just a little too patient on it, I would even say. As now suddenly, caught on the rotate is Vertigo into the tunnel, but he can't get out in time. The interrupts from final boss are just too good, and Vertigo caught on the rotate.
What? I'm so confused. Like,
I think just didn't know where Steve Jackson was. Assumed that this was going to be a 3v2 in their favor, but it ends up being a 3v1 in final boss's favor. Now Duck will ult the wave.
Oh no! Oh no!
Through trade is going to get hooked, and it will be a 1-for-1 support traded for support.
Okay, next
and now Steve Jackson wants a little more. Duck. How much can you get done? Teleport in from Fortnite. They're going to try and make this play happen as Duck is going to chase down and force it out. Keyboarder, and now in the 2v2, Fortnite flashes away. Arcane Storm on top of himself. That's not where you wanted that. Duck's going to flash over the wall, but the barrier is there in time. Keyboarder will be able to take that one down. Vertigo should be able to pick up one shutdown, and with the tunnel, maybe two. Not up in time. He'll be able to walk away. Steve Jackson and Keyboarder on the run. Vertigo wanted to chase them down, but just doesn't have the damage or the distance. A messy, messy dive comes out. I'm not going to say in favor of anybody. Because in the meantime, topside, Akira gets his own revenge and shut down in the 1v1.
Didn't even need the exhaust either. Just for the slow.
That's a pretty good item, I've heard.
But as it turns out, right, somehow that's a 3-for-2, and the only reason it's a 3-for-2 for final boss is because Fortnite accidentally presses Arcane Storm on the tower. If that doesn't happen, it's a 3-for-3.
An enemy, that's probably a big win.
That's a 3-for-3. So.
Oh, Jackson. That hook misses? Muffin somehow doesn't land that. I've seen Nautilus hitboxes hit from further. That was absurd.
Man, that was kind of an insane step. Also kind of, I mean, just insanely played there, but Death Card's climbing their way back. Definitely been probably the most competitive game we've had today. So even though the gold lead kind of doesn't echo that, still pretty brutal gold lead here.
Yeah, but Final Boss 18 still walking with momentum at the very least. But they need to be careful because the comeback mechanics for Death Cards are in the cards, so to speak. That not even intentional. Misfortune once she gets that second item. The third item now with the lethality build, I was expecting that to be crit. Victor scales up really well. Gwen is going to be a monster on the side lane that eventually Urgot I don't think is really going to be able to deal with.
See, something I kind of wanted for final boss here, right, is when they made that initial play and then just didn't get the first Drake. Right, now granted it's Chemtech Soul, but you have decent users, right? Urgot, really great at low HP, you have Nami to help you sustain during that. Like, for me, right, final boss should be on 2 Drakes. Like, they had the tempo, they had everything for it and opted not to go for it. And it buys so much time for Death Cards to just sit here and breathe. Let Fortnite scale up as the victor. Let your MF get some items. Now sitting on 2 items right now.
I do kind of wish you had just gone straight crit. Maybe a Hex Optics. I really don't like Collector as an item. Weaver's Wall topside. Akira, potentially caught out, is just going to look to give his life for the tower. Knows that there's no way out. You can look to try and cut this out for just a little bit longer. Stall as much time as he can. But unfortunately, there's no real play to be made on the rest of the map. So we'll just end up dying to Steve Jackson. Just caught out unawares, now in the mid lane, 2v2 for the bottom laners. Muffin's forced to flash out his Duck. Maybe looking for an angle, but no bullet time. And suddenly, they've got the pick onto the Corki the Void. Rush in, shut down over to Vertigo. Bubble's gonna land, and Vertigo should just fall here. The teleport in from Striker Jones. Everybody comes through. The collapse from Final Boss is enough to get revenge for their AD carry. A messy 2-for-1 exchange across the map, but Final Boss will continue to mount their momentum.
Well, they get the first tower in mid, and then also they're now gonna get the Herald, so they'll be able to pressure this for later. Not a bad play from Final Boss. They did invest 2 teleports, though. That does hurt quite substantially. But, again, a win is a win is a win. Doesn't really matter how you get there. And Death Cards, I have no clue what that engage was about in mid. Because Duck doesn't have ult. Didn't have ult, sorry. He does have ult now, but he didn't have ult during that fight. And the Corki is just out trading him. So I genuinely am so baffled at like what the choice was. Is now Striker.
They're the one in trouble. Flashes out the 1,000 needles, get the slow, but it may not be enough to go for it. Here wants to continue the dive under turret. Here Beyond Death tanked up. Striker Jones will get picked up under turret as Muffin doesn't even need to land the hook. Just absolutely mogs him with the miss, but now potentially Vertigo in trouble. Tidal Wave use will get these slow onto 1. Bullet time in, plenty of damage. Keyboarder should fall. Akira will find that last hit. Teleport in from Fortnite on the flank. Now flash away from trade with the Arcane Storm. Might be able to chase him down, and even if not, it will be Akira picking it up. So it's one or the other, and it's going to be Fortnite this time.
Yeah, opting for the Victor kill. Definitely don't want this Gwen to become completely unstoppable in the side lane. Although, slow chase could be fruitful, but they're going to just call it off. And Death Guards slap back in this game. As I was kind of feeling like they were starting to lose more control there, but people might meme on that MF ultimate there because, you know, it didn't really do all that much, but it actually was a great zoning tool, preventing anyone from actually rotating over to kind of help through that choke. Didn't do the most damage, but it is still also great as a zoning tool there. And paid off big time for Death Cards. They pick up a much needed and timely victory. And now, look. Like so.
So, in trouble. Kira has the 1,000 needles.
Kira, that's
Void
disgusting.
Rush in. Vertigo looking for a little bit more. Kira just trying to finish off the kill. If you're beyond death, not there, but it doesn't matter. Striker Jones will pick that one up, and now Muffin hooks in, but it's a little too late. Steven Jackson now looking for Vertigo. Muffin will get picked up. It's a double kill over to the Urgot. Steve Jackson trying to just continue the chase, but Vertigo should have an angle out with the tunnel. Manages to bury herself away. Everyone else is going to start walking towards the Baron as they know Vertigo doesn't have the health bar.
This should actually just be Baron. Fortnite, no teleport showing bot lane that entire time. They have so much
Mega Blast Cones. So will get something big. Bullet time doing plenty of damage. Keyboarder goes down inside the pit. Duck with the huge play to stall out the Baron. Tidal Wave used by Trade. They take advantage of it. Duck forced to flash away, but now Vertigo is back in Fortnite in the area. What looked like almost a guaranteed Baron is turned on the back of a huge bullet time. And now the chase down can begin. Shutdown for Fortnite. Massive gold over to Victor. And now with the jungle gone, suddenly it's Death Card's turn to take the Baron.
Yeah, Duck has been quiet all series long, but he shows up big time when they need him most. Shutting down that Baron. Completely picking up that kill just barely on the keyboarder. And now they're going to be able to claim the Baron for themselves. He's falling a little slowly here. Potential test for a trap being laid here in this mid bush, but they are on a work, so it won't be fruitful at all. But overall, Death Guards, much needed victory. They are going to lose this dragon, but it's not sole point for either team. Truthfully, does not matter. And they're going to take their reset, spend their gold. As, well, we see Victor's items. Epidon's almost there for him already.
And Victor is going to get scary and scary fast. 2.5 items, nearly 3 completed. Dragon started up by Final Boss. Vertigo in the area, but it doesn't look like they're even going to contest it. They're just saying, hey, you can have the dragon. That's your consolation prize. We're going to take the rest of the map. Mid lane turret goes down. Top lane turret under siege by Akira. How much defense can Final Boss net out from this? As this Gwen with the Shadow Flame and the Dusky Dawn just does so much work on these turrets.
Yeah, thanks to our E, right, giving attack speed, and we get our first
We were
pause
doing
of the
so
series.
well. We didn't have a
First pause
pause
of the
all
series.
series.
That's okay.
No!
That's okay. It had to happen. It always
It had to
happens
happen
at least
once.
once. It had to happen once. Happen.
It
Duck
seems
will
like
be
Duck
DC.
potentially
Not
was
sure what that's
having.
about. You know,
Duck was
now.
potentially having connection issues of some kind. It was what it looked like. I'm not 100% certain. We'll just have to wait and see. We get a minute to breathe here in this pretty action-packed game.
Yeah, this one is close. Close, like I said, closest one we've gotten all day today, which is much appreciated. Because it's
Might be
back
the
and
closest
forth.
one in the playoffs, potentially, depending on how you feel about Death Card's Resurgence Game 1.
Yeah, maybe. But we have a small gold lead here for Death Cards. And I would say, right, for Death Cards in general, that looking across the board, Victor, of course, scaling up, about to get his Rabadons. Right, the MF now on 3 items. She's incredibly scary. The Gwen, well, she's doing side lane things. She just got a tower to herself in that top side. Vertigo. Well, is Rek'Sai still does a lot of damage, especially into the enemy team's comp. Like, not a lot in the way of preventing that Rek'Sai from doing a whole lot of damage. Also, to point out, right, like the Rek'Sai, when she does get on top of somebody, if her team is with her, they can kind of just pop that person. Not as fast as Baby Klexo was getting popped in game 1, but they can still definitely pop that person.
Yeah, and again, this has kind of been a theme all series for both of these teams, honestly, but it has mostly been Final Boss 18, I feel. Just a lack of frontline in general for these games. Like, the frontline for this game is Striker Jones on the Urgot, who's playing... He's playing a bruiser. Like, Black Cleaver provides you a lot of HP, but it's not like he's building... like Death's Dance plus Jack Show plus Warmogs. This is not like a full tank Urgot, which I don't think would even be really good here. It's just a lot of bruisers. It feels a little solo queuey, and I worry that it's going to eventually lead to them not having anybody who can take the Rek'Sai knock-up in the front line.
So I think, right, for me, specifically that, as we're going back to our pretty faces, hello, sorry for the jump scare there of my face, but specifically, right, looking at this game, right, Final Boss, they had great mid game, right? Playing around like Klexo, rotating a lot, getting value out of rotating. Sometimes, you know, with his jungler, sometimes without, right? Steve Jackson on the Talia hasn't been doing too bad, right? And you know, the warp ground actually can play a huge part in preventing the Rek'Sai from having really big impact in these fights because of the stun. But I do worry again, like for Final Boss, right? The Gwen starting to come online slowly but surely. Okay.
We are getting an update from our producer that the Duck has been forced into a Windows update. Thank you, Microsoft. So we are going to cut to a short break here while we wait for that to finish up, because who knows how long that's going to take. But when we come back, we'll be getting back into game 4 of Death Cards and Final Boss 18. We'll see you on the other side. Don't go anywhere.
That's so funny.
Welcome back, everybody. We should just be getting out of this pause. For those of you who are unaware, we had an unfortunate incident with a player needing to update their Windows. Microsoft forcing it on them. Thank you, Microsoft. Very cool. But we should be getting back into game now, right back where we left off. Nothing happened, nothing missed. It's like we were never gone.
Yep, like we were never gone. But to say something as a PSA to those watching, if Doc has had that update during the Baron, this game could have looked a whole lot different. So update your Windows before game.
Oh my god.
Like, that is genuinely insane. Like, he was minutes away from having it happen at probably one of the worst possible times in this game. And it's finals, right? It's not like a regular season. This is finals. Like, surely you make sure all your stuff is good.
Season.
Like, surely you make sure all your stuff is good to go before. But enough about that, you know, of course, that's minor flame, of course. But it's Death Cards in the lead right now in this game. Although Urgot does split push pretty quickly. So we'll see if anyone responds to him at some point this game.
Yeah, the Rift Herald is marching its way up there as well, so eventually they're going to have to deal with this, but Death Card's confident to just start pushing down this bottom lane inhibitor turret. They know that the engage cannot do very much, but the turret goes down pretty slowly. There's that first top lane turret going down. Striker Jones doing plenty of work on the Urgot. The recalls are finally going to get started. They realize, oh, dang, there's a Rift Herald up there. We got to go.
Yeah,
they are going to be forced to back off. Herald's going to get the charge, though.
Yeah, we'll get the charge, but nice back off from Striker Jones, and, well, we're now going to have this Baron fizzle out. Here
as much as they didn't get too much out of it, they have evened up the gold now, and as we saw before we went to a break, with the gold leads in each individual lanes. While the gold leads wasn't in favor of Fortnite in mid, it feels like he's doing a lot more than this Jace is at this point in the game, and especially now that he has the Rabadons, which he didn't have completed before. It feels like he's only going to get stronger from here. Like, the 10,000 gold that's on Fortnite is better than the 11 or so thousand that's on Klexo.
Yeah, I agree, but now Rabadon's here, as you mentioned, completed for Fortnite. And we talked about Final Boss not really having the best way of tanking damage. Oh, Steve Joe!
Whoo! Another hook! Misses by a hair! This is the unluckiest Nautilus I've ever seen. Riot finally fixed the hitboxes. It's just too little too late.
I can't believe he missed that in the first place, right? Like, Steve Jackson had no clue that was happening. Muffin off the mark there. And what could have been a very game-deciding, like, play.
That could have opened up the game, yeah.
Just barely missing there by a fraction. I cannot believe that. Now, this mid lane, priority being fought over for another minute and a half before this next dragon spawns. So, nothing will really truly happen. Imagine. Steve Jackson actually maybe thinking about cutting them all.
Oh. Sidestep on that seismic shove, not letting any engages come through, and the poke and the siege will just continue. Death Cards, I think, are happy to play this slower game out. They know that Jace will eventually fall off. Corki does not scale infinitely, whereas Victor, pretty hard scaling, and now that Gwen also has her Rabadons, life's not going to get much easier for this Urgot, even with the magic resist in inventory. Is Duck a little close for comfort there, but he will manage to walk away.
If final boss, this is insane by Duck. Brother, you have no one here. This is
he has flash in those brown paper bags. He's happy to just continue walking up and down this lane.
Insane. I mean,
wow.
So the thing is final boss don't have vision on the bot side, so it's so hard to see if like Duck is baiting there, which gives Duck the confidence to walk forward. But what if they just do go on you, right? Like then you're in you are just in a terrible position. But 11 seconds now to this Drake. Mid lane priority going the way towards final boss due to some ill-timed backs, but wave cleaned up now.
TP from Fortnite used to get here. They want to be in position for this dragon. Gold lead. Pretty much dead even. A couple hundred at this point in the game is not going to make the big impact. Shock Blast will land onto Vertigo, getting a little bit of poke. Muffin looking for the hook. In onto Striker Jones. They're getting the burst down onto the Urgot. Do they have him in time? The Sterix is there. A massive knockdown onto the backline from Vertigo! Flexo will fall. The Zonius from Steve Jackson will do nothing! And Death Cards wipe the floor with final boss!
And it's looking like a 3-1. Your prediction might be true here. Game is not over just yet. They have a lot to get through. No Baron, and not really a wave right now. But they do a lot of damage right now. It's just Nami for another 20 seconds. And Brittany, this could... I think they get in here if they're very decisive about it.
Trade has to pull the wave away. He's got to do something. Still 10 seconds away for Keyboarder. The first Nexus turret goes. The engage on a trade. The Nami will do nothing. And Death Cards, in clean fashion, will be your Immortal Winter Split champions.
Congratulations to Death Cards, and, well, I don't want to say it, but final boss. Again, with a very weird draft. Don't get it done. And Death Card's playing a pretty calculated game, but to highlight this game, it's Duck. Duck prevents them from getting Baron at the best possible time. Because if they get that Baron right, Death Cards start to just drink in so much gold. Or sorry, not Death Cards. Final boss get to drink in so much gold. That, you know,
denying that Baron away. Is that... Honestly, for how well Akira and Vertigo and Fortnite performed, and even Muffin having some great moments, does stopping that Baron win Duck the series MVP?
No. Sorry. Sorry, no.
Just straight now.
No, sorry.
That might be the play of the series, but it's not enough
play of the series, for sure.
Great showing from Death Cards. That game looked rocky. Final Boss had the early start. They had first blood in the mid lane, even if it was traded 1-for-1. They had some winning trades in the top side. It looked rough there for Death Cards, but a couple of super clean fights, which is what we've been seeing from them all split long. They have a little shaky start. Sometimes their early game isn't perfect, but the team fights are always so damn clean.
Yeah, Vertigo on the rec side there, right at like that last fight, just so perfect. And again, I do think part of Final Boss's problems are these drafts. Like these, like again, game 1 was a complete disaster. Like that, I have no clue how that draft was even made. Like there was just no way they were going to win this game or win that game. And now you're looking at that, right? Where, oh, you know, they could have at least maybe if they had a better draft, maybe they go to game 5 at the very least, right? If we were disregarding everything else. But Death Card's well-deserved win. Like, every win they had was incredibly dominant. This game, like I said, very close. They were on the back foot here, but they stayed calm. They stayed collected. Duck finds a very well-timed play to prevent a Baron that would have maybe potentially snowballed the game completely out of control for them. And sometimes that's just what you need, right? Sometimes you just need that one play and, you know, you get there. And congratulations to Death Cards. I think we'll look at maybe getting an interview here, so we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere as we figure out on our end. We're not leaving, we promise. At least we're not without saying goodbye. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Welcome back, everybody. We have our interview tonight. We have Vertigo and Fortnite, the winning mid-jungle duo. How are you guys feeling after your win in the series?
Wait, which one was that?
Great.
We'll start with Fortnite.
I'm feeling great.
The rules.
I'm whatever. Rules are meant to be broken. I'm great. This is awesome. I'm happy we won with this team.
Very nice. Vertigo, what's up? How you feeling?
Yeah, I'm still shocked about it. I think this is both of our first wins ever, so it's completely new territory, and it is just, God, it feels good.
Well, congratulations to you both. I mean, very well deserved, hard fought victory in that last game there. So my first question is going to be to both of you. I want to know your opinion on Final Boss's first game draft. We're going to start with Fortnite and then we'll move to Vertigo.
Our opinion on the first game draft? I think they had a good plan, but I think they just disrespected the Mel blind on 4. Because once we banned the Victor, they should have realized that we're gonna slam the Mel blind.
Yeah.
So they just disrespected. And the Trinivere is a really weird pick. I think they kind of ruined their comp with the Trinivere pick on their 5th pick.
Okay, fair enough. For me personally, right before we moved to Vertigo, I actually thought the Trinivere wasn't the issue. I thought picking LeBlanc into the Mel and then just not giving her a jungler that actually works very well with LeBlanc was really odd. But I felt like maybe the Aatrox on 3 actually completely sold because they had to put the Aatrox somewhere. And I think they just kind of panicked and put it jungle. So that was kind of
we ended up saying on broadcast
takeaway.
It felt very solo QE.
Very solo.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's kind of how that team plays, which I respect the hell out of because they are just always down to be psychopaths alongside us. But yeah, that one might have been a cook too far. And I think that, like, especially in the 3 drafts that they lost, like, their biggest issue was that they keep locking these drafts where nobody wants to be the first one to go forward, right? Yeah. Like maybe the Malphite one, but it was a little awkward still. But they just pick these drafts where they're all scrapping, they're all kind of playing range, and so they don't really have a functioning team comp when they come to the end of it. When we were a lot more focused on making sure we rounded out our comps, responded to their picks well. And I think that was just our biggest strength of drafts.
Speaking of the drafts, I did want to ask, whichever one of you ends up, I assume both of you would know, but who actually does end up running the drafts for your team? Is it one of the players, or do you guys have an outside coach, or do you plan the drafts like beforehand and just come into the series with a full plan? Fortnite, will start with you.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, shush, Vertigo.
It's really go second. You know this.
Really, it's just kind of all of us. We're all just throwing out ideas and doing what we think is best. Just kind of all contributing to each draft, kind of before each game. Thinking about
for these last.
There you go.
Thing, I thought you were finished. Yeah, for these last couple of weeks, we kind of just like pooled all of our thoughts into one big text sheet. Just champions that we need to be careful of in draft, the things we need to focus on, what our bans were going to be, and everyone would like contribute their knowledge on the enemy player and their champ pools, everything like that into it, so we can just get a cohesive idea of how we're going to play.
A little collective drafting. Okay, I like that.
Yeah, and no, we don't have a coach. This was all goober gameplay.
Hey, that's good stuff. That's good stuff. So now my next question is a kind of 2-parter specifically for Fortnite here. First things first, I want to award you the series MVP for today. So congratulations.
Wow, thank you.
So congrats. It was actually close between you and Vertigo, but I think overall you were the Mel gameplay kind of outshone. Like the only reason is because the Mel in game 1 kind of outshone him a little bit. So
the Xerath was also foul.
Yeah, the Xerath was insane, but also Vertigo on the Nocturne was pretty crazy. But to get onto my question, for specifically playing against the Kassadin, so we're not going to focus on just pause. There's a reason behind this, right? So game 1, you have a pretty dominant game in the Mel, but then game 2, the Kassadin comes through, and it's kind of the opposite. What was your kind of like mindset switch, or I guess how did you kind of like prep yourself for game number 3, coming off of the back of what happened because of the Kassadin game? And then the second part to that question is, if there was anything in the Xerath game that you thought you could have done differently, what would it have been, in your opinion?
So the Cassidy pick game 2, I think he kind of just came from left field. Like, I checked his history. He hasn't played Cassidy for 4 months since this game. So we really weren't expecting it in the slightest. And it was just kind of an unlucky game. I didn't rip the trigger on 2 of my ults when I should have, which would have snowballed me forward to carry that game. So when it started just falling apart, I just got it in my head. I was like, well, this is just unlucky. It's just casted and pick from who knows where into me playing like an idiot. So just kind of wrote off. And for the Xerath game, I think if I just hit more abilities, it would have been nicer. But there was a couple fights where I just started whiffing everything.
I mean, I remember that moment, like in the top play where you guys.
That's exactly what I was
missing,
thinking.
like 3 Qs in a row, and then you just clutch it up right at the very end right before you probably would have died. So I mean, you clutched up. It doesn't matter. You clutched up.
And I think,
hidden clutch moments. That's what matters.
True. And I was also going to say that I'm the luckiest man alive for living on 10 HP in that mid play. That was really funny. I'm sure he was really not happy about that.
Oh, sure. Vertigo, I want to ask you. We'll have a couple more questions and then get you guys out of here. Obviously, first split win for you, a big deal for you. Do you have any big plans going into the next split? Are you planning on still competing? Are you moving on? What's your future looking like here for Titan?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this team is going to move over into BOL starting up, I guess, next Monday. So it's definitely not going to be the end of us as a group. And I've also got my second team, Lane Zero Typhoons, playing over in AML, doing really well in there right now. We're on our way to quarterfinals, I believe.
I casted your round of 16, so
yeah. Oh, you did.
I did. I was there.
It was a banger.
It was.
So yeah, I just love playing competitive League of Legends, at least with teams that I enjoy playing with, and that's kind of been the story of this split for me, and that's something that I want to continue into next split for sure. Is playing with people that I love to play with, people that are competitive, and it just riding those good vibes to wins or just in general successful splits.
The kind of stuff we love to hear, playing for the love of the game.
All right. Well, so to get it again, the kind of a two-parter question here, but this completely different gears on the 2 questions, and this is for both of you. First things first. The first question is, Titan is going to be moving the cap for Immortal to 1200. So how do we feel about that, Fortnite and Vertigo? And then when you guys finish that question, I'll ask you the last thing, and then we'll close out for tonight. So go ahead, Fortnite. How are we feeling about the 1200 cap increase? What are your plans with that?
I think that's a good change. I mean, the season's super inflated, but I'm also just a low bob and I don't play solo queue, so it doesn't really affect me.
Fair enough. Vertigo?
I've been playing solo queue and I've just been unlucky, so I'm also a low bob. Yeah. Well, we've at the end of the day, we've always just been happy hitting above our LP rating, right? Like, we've taken down challenger players in our scrims and occasionally just AVL teams that have scrimmed us. So I think going into 1200 isn't going to be anything more daunting for us. We'll see what the players look like in there, or how many of them drop into the M500 bracket. But I think overall it is a good change, and I think you will see us in Immortal next split, hopefully.
Fair enough.
That's good to hear.
Of course, now the second thing is something I like to do as per tradition. So before we end out, I would like to give the floor to both of you. So I said it was a question, but it's not really a question. But I would like to give the floor to both of you. Anything you want to shout out in particular, whatever you want to say, this is going to be your time. We will, of course, start again with Fortnite. And then when Fortnite finishes, it'll be Vertigo. And then we will pass to Brittany to close us off. So whenever you're ready, Fortnite, have at it.
I think the enemy team just needs to DM us all for coaching, and I think that's all that's all I gotta say.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Okay. That's crazy.
Nice ego, dude. Get over yourself.
GG easy, DM for coaching.
That's crazy.
Vertigo, anyone for you?
Yeah, I mean, first shout out's coming from Muffin. He wanted to shout out his wife here. and so we have to shout it out for him. Very cool.
I'm
And then
actually
also Akira's wife, who doesn't exist. Also a shout out to her. Her name is Maiden. And but really, my shout outs are definitely just to these guys, because I know I said that like this split was for the love of the game, but really it was for them, because I mean nobody really cares about my story as a player, but this last split before this one was hell on earth after I kind of stabbed them in the back, leaving them from Mint Gaming. And so I've just been really blessed to get them all back after that, and just really wanted to make this win for them. So thank you to my goats here in DC. Thank you to Alan for funding us. And thank you to Golden in the background. She was rooting for me in my DMs this whole time. She was very happy with the Hecarim last week. Sorry I didn't get to whip it out again.
I have the choice of words. We appreciate you both for joining us again. Congratulations on your victory. Hope you enjoy the rest of your night and sit on your laurels. But that is going to be it for us here for the Titan Immortal Winter Split. I've been What's It Pretty. That's been Ozzy. Our second producer, Shivam, and our first producer and observer, Darth Laser and Golden, making sure things run as smoothly as possible. From everyone here at Titan, we appreciate you all so much for joining us. And we'll catch you next split when things continue to happen here at Titan Immortal. Have a good night.
Bye!